So growing up, I had two things that I really loved. It was being in pool halls and play pool, billiards, and also riding BMX. BMX is the main thing I loved. I mean, I loved it since I could ride. I learned how to ride a bike when I was 5. No training wheels, shit like that. I wrecked, I crashed, I looked up to the bigger kids that they're bigger than me. They could ollie, they could bunny hop over curbs and bunny hop over medians, and they could do jumps and freestyle and do all kinds of shit, man. Race, and my brother was a racer. He was the first one that I looked up to really. My brother was always had these fresh ass bikes, just fresh ass BMX bikes. He painted them pink and blue and baby blue, like sky blue, Haros and stuff like that. And I grew up in the '80s, so we had these heavy ass bikes, but they were fresh. I mean, my first bikes weren't fresh, man. I mean, first bike I had was a Huffy. I'm pretty sure. I snapped that frame in about 3 weeks. And my father said, "Fuck, shit, you're fucking breaking bikes." I was like, "Yeah, I'm breaking them. Yeah, dude, give me some better shit. Like, come on, give me some better gear, bro. Shit ain't working right." So I evolved. My first, I remember it was a Christmas day. My father got me a Redline, a stock Redline. It wasn't custom built. It was fresh, man. And I made it custom eventually. I mean, it took a long time. Every birthday I got, every Christmas, every all the allowance I had, I just spent on this bike, man, just to make this Redline faster, better, shit like that. Better handlebars, better. My handlebars would slip; they would be slipping, so then I had to get better handlebars, get better necks. It was always the necks, man. The necks sucked, but back in the '80s, the DK necks were the best. So I had this Redline frame, Redline 340. That was the bike I had in 1986 or '87. I mean, I was only 7 years old. I'm already designing custom bikes. I'm already designing it. I'm all about designing things or programs. And I'm designing this bike. I'm customizing it. That was my first fresh bike. Now I'm riding a Chase. It's like Olympic style quality bike, man. I mean, like Connor Fields would ride it. You know what I mean? Like Connor Fields is the fastest guy on the planet. You know, everybody should know that. I mean, he won the Olympics. He won the gold medal. The first time that the BMX, uh, when BMX racing was in the Olympics, the very first time it was in the Olympics, Connor Fields won the gold medal. You could look this up on YouTube. It's on there. It's the fastest guy on the planet on a bike. Nobody's faster than him. But that's real, man. So I got the Chase, man. I spent $3,000 on this bike. I got the frame, Chase 2.0. I'm riding a 2.0. I think they got the 3.0 now and the 4.0, and I think they're riding mostly carbon fiber bikes now. But I don't have that. I have the 2.0, but I have the original, But fuck, it took a long fucking time to build that bike, man. It's a year, a whole year. I was eating ramen noodles. I was eating ramen noodles and fucking sausages and Vienna sausages and ramen noodles for a year, just trying to save money for parts for this bike, man. And then I went to this bike shop to have it built, because some things I can't do. The chains are kind of hard and to work with, and so I had a really custom shop build my bike, and that cost $150 just to have that built. So, anyways, I went to this shop the other day, man, just to check it out, and it got robbed. I guess it got robbed on New Year's Day. All the bicycles are stolen, and I'm like, dude, what's going on with your shop, man? Like, this guy's not my friend or anything, but this guy I was like, dude, you built my Chase. He's like, what? He's like, you still have that fucking bike? Like, he's like flipping out because I still have a bicycle. It's just a bicycle. But he remembered that bike. And this is like 5 years ago. I'm like, yeah, dude, yeah, I still got that fucking bicycle, man. Yeah, I still got it. And then we're talking about he had a Redline, a flight stock Redline in his shop, and I was looking at it. I said, my daughter has this frame. I bought her this frame, but the bike is not like this bike. This bike is stock. I said, her bike weighs 13 pounds. He says, how the fuck did you get it down to 13 pounds? Would you go carbon fiber rims or something? Like, I said, no, just aluminum rims. But they're custom built and stuff like that. But I said, I spent $1,500 on a race bike. It's a junior, you know? It's like a 17-inch top tube, something like that. And I said, my chase weighs 15 pounds. He's like, dude, this red line right here that you're looking at, and it did have carbon fiber forks and it had like some special parts on it. He says, dude, this retails at 19 pounds. How the fuck did you get her bike down to 13 pounds? I said, I spent $1,500 on it. That's how I did that. And, you know, it's all aluminum parts. The forks came from Canada. I researched every single part. The headset, the top tube, the bottom bracket, like the cranks, like the pedals, like everything I chose was like the best, lightest shit. And he was flipping out, dude. He didn't believe it. I'm like, yeah, I did it. You know, yeah, I built it, man. It took me 2 years. It took me a year to build my bike, and it took me a year to build her bike. A bike she doesn't even ride anymore, really, because all the racetracks are closed right now. You can't ride. You can't race right now on BMX tracks. BMX tracks are closed because of COVID. He's like, man, you still got that chase? I was like, yeah, dude. Yeah, no fucking doubt I still got that fucking bike. Because he built it for me. He didn't build the red line, but he built the chase. But the red line's going to be modified soon. My daughter's getting very, very tall at a young age. I mean, I swear she's like fucking 5 feet tall, like 9 years old. She's so fucking tall. So I said, I got this new bike I need you to build. I got everything to modify it. I have a new frame. It's the Supercross frame. It's the lightest frame in the world. It weighs less than 3 pounds. It's like 2.2 pounds, 2.2 pounds 10 ounces or something. It's the lightest fucking frame in the world. It's $800 frame. It's like actually like $900 frame. But I got a good deal on it. And then all the parts on the red line are gonna go on the chase. But and then so I got so worried about my daughter riding it because it was so expensive that we bought her a fucking like a cheap bike from Walmart, a street bike. This is her second street bike. This is her third bike. Yeah, her street bike. This is her third bike. The first bike she had was it was like you didn't have pedals. It was like a push bike. I mean, I was pushing her around on this little push bike. It was like 12-inch wheels. And that bike wasn't cheap either. That was like $180 for that bike. And I was pushing her around on this when she was a baby. And she could crawl, but she couldn't really walk. And I was helping her ride this little bike when she was a baby. I mean, she rode a bike before she could even fucking barely crawl. She was already riding a bike, and she loved it. She loved bikes, so I got her into it. But this guy was just fucking tripping out, man, over this discussion. And I was talking about riding half pipes and riding 15-foot pulls, and I told him I know how to ride, skate parks. I know how to ride dirt. Like I know how to race. Like I know a little bit of flatland. Very little of flatland. Flatland is the hardest fucking version of BMX. There's so many versions of it. But they came out this new movie, man. They came out this new movie the other day. I had to pick it up. I couldn't not pick it up. But it's Heroes of Dirt. This is basically Rad 2. Rad was a cult movie that came out in the 80s, but this is the second version of it. And the guy that's in it, the main character of Rad, the original, he's in this movie, so I had to pick this movie up, man. It's a sick ass fucking movie, but no, what I miss is riding dirt, man. I miss riding dirt. We had these trails in Nevada when I used to live in Nevada. They had all this space everywhere back in the 80s, and you could actually just dig stuff up and make trails and make jumps. And we made jumps. The biggest jumps we ever made were 20 feet from tip to tip, from the tip of the starting jump to the tip of the landing. If you were to measure the whole thing, it'd probably be like 30 feet. But the biggest we made were 20. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger. It started out 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, and it just got bigger and bigger. And it went like that from the age of 14 to 19. And we made some sick ass fucking jumps. And I had a bunch of friends that were into it, and we were all out there digging. Like I'd get out of high school and I would just go dig. I'd go to the spot, man, and I would just be digging at the trails. You know, nobody's paying me to do this. Somebody's telling me to do this. Nobody had to tell me to do this. I just wanted to do this. We all did it. We all invested in it. And it got to a point where we told the other riders, like, hey, if you're not helping us build these trails up and maintain these trails, then you can't ride here. That was like how you paid that's how you got your membership, you know, back then. So we had like fucking like 30 kids riding at some point over there. We set up lights and shit so we could ride at night. You know, we had hoses, like really long hoses. There was this girl that lived in this house. My friend was like dating her, I guess. But he was dating her and a lot of other girls. He was kind of using her. I didn't like that, but I never told her. I kept it cool. And I used to talk to her a lot, man. I used to hang out there. I didn't just build trails, but I would go to inside the house next to the trails, and I would talk to her. And at one point, he started saying I was like cheating on, you know, I was like I was fucking her and all this. So I'm like, dude, I'm not. I mean, I tried to like fucking like 3 or 4 years ago. I tried to, but she wouldn't let me. She was always fucking you, so I just backed off, dude. But he thought because I rode trail so much and I was always going inside the house and eating pizza and shit, he thought I was invested in her. He thought I was, you know, doing things with her. I couldn't believe he fucking told me that. I know this guy. This is one of my best friends. And he was fucking like 3 other girls at the same time he was fucking her. And she never knew, or I guess she didn't care, or I don't know. I don't know what the fuck was going on. But I never told her. Never told her parents. Never told her brother. You know. Her brother was a pussy. He was scared to jump. He was scared to jump his bike. He wouldn't jump anything. He wouldn't jump fucking like 2-feeters or nothing. But by the way, me and my friend, my best friend, one of my best friends, you know, we're jumping these 20-foot sets. You know, we advanced. This guy got really good though. This guy got really good at tricks. Yeah, no shit, man. He's doing like tail whips and shit off of 17-foot jumps, doing tail whips, doing 360s off 17-foot jumps like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. I mean, off the first jump. The first jump is usually a speed jump. This guy's doing fucking tail whips of 360s off the speed jump. And then he gets into the big jump where you do the trick. And this guy's doing fucking bar spins and fucking. This guy got so fucking good. When I turned 19, I joined the military and I never talked to him ever again. But this guy was way more advanced than me. This guy got sick. The crazy thing is he never rode a bike until he was like 15 or 16 years old. And we had the same bike. S&M Homes. S&M Homes. He had the yellow one, I had the green one. And we had the same bike, like we had the same setup, like we were both. It was almost like a competition of like who could figure out the tricks faster. But I learned the 360 faster. I learned that before he did. I don't know, man. It was just so fucking sick growing up. My life was sick in a way. From 14 to 19 was the best time of my life. It was just great times, man. I don't have any of that anymore. I don't have anybody that I ride with. I don't have any friends. I don't have any trails to ride. I can't build trails anymore. I can go to the skate parks and stuff, but BMX without friends is like, it's not really that much fun, you know?